welcome to Boulder Truth's Bold Woman of the Week. I have Taylor with me, who is our current Mrs. Kentucky America 2026. Taylor, would you like to introduce yourself to everyone?
Sure. Yeah. Hi, my name's Taylor Bush. I'm Mrs. Kentucky America 2026. And yeah, I'm so excited to just have a conversation and meet somebody who's going to be on this wild ride with me.
I know, me too. It's going to be so much fun, and I'm really looking forward to meeting everyone. I mean, getting to meet girls from each and every state. I just, I'm looking forward to the connections and learning about what everyone's doing because I feel like all of the girls are doing such great and such big things.
hmm
And
And
you've been so involved in things already too.
thank you. Thank you. I think the like biggest reassurance, and have you done pageants before?
So I did them for a few years outside of college, like in
Mhm.
my early 20s, and then I took a 10-year hiatus. And so this was my first pageant back after not doing it for a very, very long time. So,
Well, same, same. And I know in my early 20s, it was like so competitive, like this is my life, which this is very important. But now, as a married woman, I have that relief like life goes on and I'm here to like make connections and have fun. Like I have a life outside of this pageant, and this is just amplifying that.
I love that you bring that up because I feel like before for me it was all about like the crown, winning the title, just
hmm
the excitement of the actual title and the glam itself. And I think that that has completely morphed for me where it's about so much more than that. Like you said, it's about the experience, the community, the impact you're going to make, and it's just it makes it such a enjoyable experience when you get to actually connect with women who feel that same way.
Yes, absolutely. I'm enjoying this so much more than any pageant I've ever done before.
Yes. I know. I feel like it speaks to me personally too, because I love that it's primarily interview and focuses on all of the things that you're doing so that you can showcase all of your hard work and then like getting to know what everybody else is doing. I mean, it's big things, which is the best part about it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm so glad that you're doing this so we can be introduced to each other. Because
I
I was
know.
scared to like meet all these strangers and live with them.
50, 50 girls getting into a room and just it's just gonna be
Right.
I thought
Right.
it'd be really cool if we could all get connected beforehand and then that way like we know each other a little bit. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about like your platform, the things that you're working on or anything that you might want to talk about?
Yeah, so my advocacy work centers around organ donation advocacy. And I got involved with that. Nobody talks about organ donation until it affects them, right?
True.
And in 2013, my dad got really, really sick and he was having issues with his heart pumping out blood.
Hmm.
And he had a series of three strokes in 48 hours, and it was awful. And for the next several years, he just kept getting sicker and sicker. And it became apparent in 2018 that he needed to go see like a very specialized cardiologist because his doctors in town basically were like, "Well, just make him comfortable, and I'm sorry when he dies." And it's like, "Well,
Hmm.
that's not right." So
Yeah.
my dad drove himself to the Cleveland Clinic, which from Louisville is like 7 hours away. And he got there and they did he saw an inpatient cardiologist and they're like, you need to go to the ER right now. I can't believe you're walking. So,
Wow.
right. So he went to the ER and he got it's like basically a balloon where they like went up through his leg into his heart and they were pumping his heart mechanically for him with this balloon pump. And he had that for, I think, maybe 10 days. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of blanking because it was all so traumatic.
I know, I can imagine.
And then maybe at like week two, they decided that his best course of action, because he was in need of a new heart, but there wasn't one available, that he would receive something called an LVAD,
Mhm.
and it stands for left ventricle assist device. So it's a mechanical pump that fit around his heart like a clasp, and there is an exterior port that went out of his chest. Like it looked like a big USB cord going out of his chest into two batteries that he kept into pockets, and it would like constantly work his heart for him.
Right.
And he had to clean the dressing every day, and it's really high risk. Most people with LVADs die within the first 5 years. And he stayed in the Cleveland Clinic for, I think, right at 100 days. It may have been 99 or 101. And it was awful. I mean, he had to have another emergency open heart surgery in the middle of that because the LVAD, the surgery pierced there's like a lining around your heart and it pierced that. So all the blood started to compress on the LVAD and he flatlined and died basically. And they were able to revive him and crack his chest back open and get everything working again.
Wow.
And like also in that whole time, I started dating my now husband. And I was like, hey, I don't know you very well, but like I'm not in the right frame of mind to drive to Cleveland. How
Right.
about we take your car? Because my car won't make it. And
Uh-huh.
he was on board and he drove me to Cleveland like every weekend that entire summer. And we
Wow.
live under like the worst circumstances.
It sounds
But
like you came in at the right time for a true support system.
yeah, yeah. And my husband had met my dad prior to my dad getting the LVAD in Louisville. And like that meeting could not have gone worse. Like my dad was so rude to him, like did not want anyone dating his daughter. Like this like archangel Brad was driving me back and forth to Cleveland sometimes in the middle of the week when we would get the call, like, Taylor, your dad's not going to make it. You need to get here to say goodbye. So,
Mm.
yeah, we spent the summer in Cleveland, like not great, but he eventually came home around August in 2019 and he was put on the heart transplant waiting list and you can register on waiting lists at different hospitals. So he registered at Vanderbilt in Nashville and 18 months later we got the call after three failed attempts.
Wow.
um, yeah, like the first one, he got the call and the heart had an electrical issue, so it wasn't valid. While he was there, he contracted COVID. So when he got the second call, he tested positive for COVID. You can't have surgery with the active infection. And then the third call, um, the my dad decided not to take it because it was a very high risk heart. So he was like, I'll roll the dice if we get another one.
Mhm.
Um, so fourth time's a charm, and he got the transplant.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's incredible.
it was a wild ride, and like he got the transplant January 3rd of 2020, and I got engaged on Christmas Eve, and it was like this is great, but instead of being able to plan my wedding for those 10 days, I was planning my dad's funeral because he was getting sicker and sicker.
Mhm.
And the first thing my dad said to me when he woke up was, "I can't wait to walk you down the aisle."
Oh my gosh, you're gonna make me cry.
Oh,
Stop.
don't, don't. So he did. He walked me down the aisle. It's all
Amazing.
good. It's all good. And he is so much nicer to my now husband than he was on their first meeting.
I love that so much. And
So
organ
yeah.
donation, I'm not super familiar with organ donation, but I am definitely an advocate. I'm an organ donation. I put it on my
Thank
license,
you.
donor. I've been huge on that ever since I got my license at 16, just because I've heard stories and how it can help. And I know that the waiting lists are long,
Hmm.
that the timing, right, is very critical of the time that they receive the organ to the time that they have to book the surgery. So I'm sure that was also another added, like waiting on the call. And then if you get the call, you're like, gotta go. Like all of that is stuff that I think people forget about as well.
Yeah, so like from Louisville to Nashville is 3 hours, and my dad has a dog, so he left without leaving the dog, or like we had to go get the dog, my cousin and I, and all of the table or all the chairs in his house were turned over because I could tell he like got the call and just like jumped out of his chair and knocked
Yeah.
everything over. So my cousin and I had to pick up this like 120-pound dog and like clean my dad's kitchen, like because when you get the
Oh,
call, you have to like
you just,
go.
yeah, there's like no time, right? That's the clock starts probably right then
Yeah,
and there.
yeah.
That's me. So how is he doing now?
He's doing really well. And the nurse who took care of him when he came home is now his very special lady friend, which
Mhm.
is so cute.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. That's super cute. And so as your platform, your are you advocating for organ donation then and
Yeah,
kind of
absolutely.
preaching
Because
awareness?
yeah, I mean, it gave my dad a second chance. So I feel like I live organ donation every day, or without it,
Absolutely.
I wouldn't have all these moments with my dad. I feel like it was so close to have been taken away from us. And right now, there are more than 100,000 other Americans who are waiting for their life-saving transplant.
Wow.
So, that's 100,000 families just like ours every day, without getting that call is horrible. It's horrible. And there's, the other side of the coin. There are the donor families, which, you know, that's just as moving for me. I mean, I'm a mom and I've met a lot of other moms who've lost a child, and to have that kind of foresight to say, well, this is my absolute worst day, but I can make it another family's best day.
Mhm.
So I've worked to fundraise for donor families so that they can, you know, they don't have to go into medical debt. They don't have to pay to bury a loved one or pay for, you know, hotel stays or whatever they may need because like losing like, my husband or something. And I would make that choice, but the right thing to do is to allow me to grieve with dignity. And
Yeah.
I think that's the important thing is to take care of people who give so selflessly.
That's amazing and something I hadn't really thought about before
Oh
is,
my gosh,
you know,
it's so sad.
so important that
Yeah.
they, like you said, they have the dignity and they're recognized and they have a little bit of relief, at least from any medical bills or the costs that add up to.
Well, sure. My dad's donor was only 20,
Wow.
and I was almost 30 when he got his heart transplant. So it's like, my dad's probably older than this guy's parents. And he said on multiple occasions he wished it was the opposite, where my dad was the donor and he could have let this 20-year-old kid, which, he is, have a second chance. So it's sad. It's so sad. But
Yeah,
at least his legacy is one of giving.
absolutely. And that's so many mixed emotions too, because
Mhm.
obviously, you're grateful to receive it, but you also do recognize that it came from someone else's loss. So what a roller coaster ride.
It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. And my dad's in Nashville right now taking care of my husband, or not my husband, my cousin,
Mhm.
who just had heart valve replacement surgery.
Wow.
So it's like uh,
When
never ending.
like the older I get, the more I realize that just life is gonna throw things at you that you never expect.
Oh, yeah.
And you
Oh,
just
yeah.
gotta somehow stay faithful, roll with the punches, and, you know, appreciate the time that you have, like even while you're going through hardship, which is so hard to do sometimes, I feel like. But I've been really trying really hard, like especially this past year, to be more intentional and
Hmm.
to really like absorb and like appreciate just like everyday life, or even just even if it's like something as simple as like eating dinner with my husband or my parents or whatever it is. Like I feel like I used to take a lot of those things for granted. I think
Oh, yeah.
when you're younger, you kind of do that naturally,
Yeah,
but
sure,
you know,
sure. I lost a cousin by marriage last week, and on that side of the family, 10 years ago, our Thanksgivings and Christmases were loud and raucous, and we would have to push together like lawn furniture so enough people could eat. And
yeah.
now it's like we couldn't even fill a card table because we've just, that's life. But I wish when I was 16 and wanted to like go do God knows what.
Yep.
I wish I would have been at home with my family because they're, they're not here now, and it's sad.
It is, but it's just, I think it takes living life though to also realize that. Cause I know talking to my 16-year-old self, I would have never been, I would have been like, whatever, you know?
Yeah, I needed to like tase my 16-year-old self. Forget talking.
Right? I love it. So okay, I have a couple questions kind of in light of the Boulder Truth stuff. So, um, I know we didn't touch on it super in depth, but kind of my platform is basically encouraging women to share their stories and what their purpose is and the things that they've worked through in their life. So, I have a couple questions that sometimes I ask people. Let's see. So, one question would be, what is one part of your story that people don't see, but has shaped you the most?
Hmm. I come from a family of refugees, which is, I guess, fairly obvious because we are Asian and it's like we kind of look like refugees. But, um, you know, coming from that background, uh, is allowed me to live with quite a bit of gratitude because my grandmother escaped North Korea. And I grew up in a house where we all wore each other's hand-me-downs. And when those hand-me-downs got too tattered, we turned those into mops. And I think that sense of not only gratitude, but resourcefulness certainly irritates my husband when I try and wash out Ziploc bags. But I
I
think
love it.
do you do that too?
No, I will like so I bought not Ziploc bags, but I bought like reusable paper towels because I was so sick of wasting
Yeah.
paper towels that I have like ones that like you use and then you wash them and then you roll them back on the
Smart. Okay. I need to get that.
Yeah, I'll send
Uh,
you the Amazon link.
but I think just like living with that sense of gratitude, but also potential scarcity has really shaped who I am. I'm so thankful just to do simple things like wake up in a warm bed and have food on the table for my family.
I think that's something that a lot of us take for granted and forget about also. On a side note, I'm super into learning about culture and heritage just in general. So like I just helped start I'm Italian.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I noticed your last name. So my mom is half Italian.
oh my gosh, that's so cool.
What part
Oh,
of Italy are you all from?
so I'm from New York originally.
Oh, okay.
Um, like I was born in Yonkers, New York, and that's mainly where most of my family is from. And then I lived in Delaware I went to the University of Delaware, so I lived there for about 7 years, and then moved down to Knoxville. So just kind of made my way.
Yeah, you went from like way up north, like Knoxville's like I'm from Kentucky and like Knoxville's super country.
Yeah, yeah. It was a culture shock too when I moved here. It was so different. I had never had like hush puppies or like fried green tomato. Like I've learned all the
Mhm.
different pieces of culture just even within the United States, which is cool too.
You miss good
Um,
food though.
yeah. But so one thing I've been working on too, which I'll have to, this is totally off topic, but I want to get it from you if you have it. I've been working on like a personal project of mine for the last like year or so. I've been getting family recipes from people of different backgrounds and descents.
Hmm.
And I don't have anybody from North Korea any recipes. So if you have a family recipe you'd like to share with me, I can add it to my collection of recipes.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. As long as you share with me a good Italian recipe.
Oh, I have so many.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
I have so many.
My mom tells a story when like, most of my Italian family live on the West Coast. When she went to go visit them as a 9-year-old for like a couple of weeks, in the
Mhm.
middle of the night, she thought she had a ruptured appendix and
Oh
she
my
went to
gosh.
the ER. And it was just because she ate too much. She just overate. And she's like, I just never had fluffy meatballs like that.
Yeah. It's easy to do with Italian food too.
Yes. Italy are like so thin and beautiful. Like,
I think, so we started making it like a yearly tradition to go visit Italy, and we've driven all around Italy. The only portion of Italy I haven't really been to yet is like the middle portion, but we did all of southern Italy, Sicily, and then all of northern Italy last year. And seeing the culture like in real time and in real life is so different. Like they walk everywhere. Like even though they eat like sweets for breakfast and stuff like that, it's all like such fresh food that we don't have access to. There's
yeah,
like no preservatives in anything. Like it's just so different.
I am. I can't say this too loud because but I used to date an Italian guy, and he was like, he told me that the food in Louisville, all the fruits and vegetables taste like potatoes. So I was like, well, parts.
That would be weird. Like, so it's just like, it is different when you travel to another country that you do taste the difference
Mhm.
in even just like a tomato, for example. It's so weird.
Oh yeah. Oh
Probably
yeah.
all like the pesticides in the water that we use.
Right. Right. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. I can guarantee an Italian tomato like from Italy tastes better than a Louisville, Kentucky tomato.
Yes. It's so true. And like we were supposed to go this year. We were going to go to Sardinia. But I'm going to Mrs. America and going to hang
Yeah.
out with you instead. But maybe we'll get there next year. We were going to try to make it like an annual trip to go back and
Oh,
visit.
fun.
So,
I went once with my mom in 2013. and I just like ate and ate and ate. But we were walking, like you said, every day, like 20,000 steps a day, and I didn't gain a pound.
Yeah, and you feel great, and you're like, and the pasta portions are like this because they usually eat meats too. So it's like, it's just so much better. I love
Wine lunch, like hello,
it.
yeah.
I love it. So did you grow up in Louisville, or you said you're from Kentucky originally? Is that your hometown?
Yeah, born and raised in Louisville. I spent 4 years. Like, do you know where Bowling Green is? It's maybe an hour north of Nashville.
Yeah.
Went to college in Bowling Green, but yeah, never lived outside of the state of Kentucky.
Yeah. Love it.
Mhm.
See, I've only been to Kentucky once, so I need to come visit you and you can take me.
Please, no, come. I've already invited Mrs. South Carolina.
I love it.
Come to Derby week. So Derby is awful. I shouldn't say that. It's just so busy,
Right.
Derby folks. But the week leading up to Derby, there's races. Like it's an event every day where you can dress up, wear the hats, and do everything. So please, next year,
So
whenever you
fun.
can, open invitation. You can stay at our house. We have a guest room.
So fun. And then you'll have to come down to Knoxville. We'll go around
Yes,
Knoxville.
please. I've driven through Knoxville a couple times.
It's gotten really busy. Like it's grown just so much in the last 10 years, but it's great. I mean, with that growth comes also new restaurants and more things to do. So while I hate the traffic, I do love the other things that come with
Oh yeah.
I
So
can
how did you all decide to move to Knoxville? Because that is, I mean, you might as well go like from New York to Knoxville. That's a different country.
yeah, I know. So I had family that moved to Knoxville for like a job for business opportunity, probably 17-ish years ago or so. And then she was getting married, so I came down to visit them for her wedding. And I remember thinking, wow, this is like so beautiful. I'm big into mountains. I love like mountain just sunsets and all of that. So I just love nature. And I came and it reminded me of home because I lived in New York. I lived 45 minutes outside of New York City, which was in like a valley area in the mountains kind of. And so it reminded me of home, but just different and as far as like everybody was so nice, the community seemed great, and I just kind of felt like home when I visited. So then when I came to visit again, I was like, I think I'm gonna move here.
Wow.
And I was in between like I had just broken up with a boyfriend at the time and in between jobs kind of not really like kind of floundering. You know how early 20s are. You're kind of like
Yeah.
you don't really know what you want and everything's like I don't know. So I was like, well, I'll try moving down and if I don't like it, I could always go, you know, I was living in Delaware at the time, so I was like, I could always go back to Delaware. Or my brother was in Philly, going to med school in Philly. So he's like, come live in Philly with me. So I could have gone to Delaware, Philly, or New York. And I was like, well, if it doesn't work out, I have three other options to.
Yeah.
So I tried it and I actually met my husband like the first week that I moved
Oh,
to.
that's so cute. How did you all meet?
So I was looking for an apartment and I hit it off with the manager at the apartment complex. They said they were hiring, so I ended up getting a job there. And he was the maintenance supervisor at the same apartment complex at the time.
I love that. That's so sweet. That's like the cutest meet cute ever.
Well, and I actually refused to date him at first because he was like this like big buff, really like muscular guy, and I thought he was going to be kind of like a
Yeah.
meathead, not very nice like player. So I
Mhm.
didn't date him for a couple weeks until we finally had to go to like we there was a gala for the apartment association, so we he asked me to go with him.
That's so cute.
So 10 years later, here we are.
Yeah. So, I mean, it worked out.
I know it's crazy to like think like how life just changes and happens and how things kind of fall into place the way you would never expect it.
Oh, yeah. Like living in Kentucky, my husband is half Korean and his family came from North Korea too. I was like, my mom sent me to Korean school when I was little. I was like, I'm not going to use this, mom. Like, I'm never going to have to talk to my Korean mother-in-law. I'm like, none of the Asian guys here, you like, forget it. And then lo and behold, it was like magic when we met.
That is amazing. So how did you guys meet?
We met so there's an organization in Louisville called YPAL, Young Professional Association of Louisville. And it's kind of like something where you pass out business cards and it's a networking event. And I went with somebody else who wanted to meet boys.
Mhm.
Um, and I was like, I'm not into this. Like none of these people are in the industry that I'm in. And so I was kind of hanging back and I see this tall, dark, handsome Asian man and I'm like, hey, like, who are you? Like, I don't want to be here. And he was like,
Yeah.
me either. So we hit it off that way.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, yeah,
I think about like things like that, right? And imagine if you didn't go that night.
I know. I'm-
It's like so weird to think about that one decision can change like the trajectory of our life so much. It's
yes,
wild.
yes. And I'm so glad, like, before Brad, I was in a serious relationship. And I was like, I cannot imagine being married to that idiot now. Like, I don't
Mhm.
know if you have, I feel like we all have dumb college or early 20s boyfriends. I'm like,
Mhm.
what the hell was I thinking? Like,
I
would have died for him at a certain point. Like, what?
I think you got to go through those to like appreciate when you find a good one.
Oh, and I'm
Kiss a few toads.
my gosh, no. I was I was dating a guy for a while and he wouldn't call me his girlfriend, but I was his girlfriend. He was not my boyfriend, which is so embarrassing.
Hmm.
And my mom was like, "Taylor, he's a felon. Like, what are you doing?" And I was
Hmm.
like, "Well, he called me pretty. Like, and none of his aggravators were violent. Like, I
Yeah,
don't see a problem."
it's fine. Everything's fine.
And now Brad he's a deacon's son and like respectable and normal. And I'm like, why was I crying over this felon who hated me?
Mhm.
So it is wild.
I think it's just so crazy when you do think back to like all of that too, because I'm like, man, like if I could just tell myself, what I know now. But then again, I try not to regret anything because then I wouldn't probably be where.
Very true. Yeah. In my case, I wouldn't appreciate like this wonderful man.
So true. So true. So we only have 5 minutes left, actually.
Oh
It's
gosh,
me off.
just been enjoying like
I
gabbing.
know. Well, we'll talk more after. We'll have to like talk more definitely as we're getting ready for the pageant because I feel
Yeah.
like there's so much to talk about and so much to like
Oh,
do.
it's crazy.
Yeah. So, okay, so I guess let's wrap it up with one last question in light of the bolder truth stuff. So, what would you consider to be your bolder truth, like a truth that you would want to share with everyone? And what do you want every woman that is going to listen to our episode today to take away from your story?
Be confident. And I know that sounds so generic, but I was not a confident person in my 20s and I was floundering in my career because I didn't think I was worthy of anything else. And even if you aren't confident now at this time, just tell yourself that you are because when you speak kindly to yourself, it becomes so much easier to project that out. And that's how people will eventually see you as confident. And I think capability is important, but confidence I think is equally important.
Mhm.
So I wish I were more confident in my 20s, but now in my 30s, I learned all the hard lessons, and I
Mm.
just don't want any other women to have to go through as hard of a time as I did.
I really love that because I think you hit the nail on the head. Like in your 20s, you're just kind of, you know, figuring out life and not really realizing that true like impact and passion and confidence comes from within. And until you start to like love yourself truly, you're never going to exude outward the person you really want to be. And I feel like I hadn't figured that out until like this year, honestly.
Maybe same. Like each year, I'm like, 22, I've got this.
Yeah.
24, I'm finally normal and out of my awkward phase. 30, no, I'm done with my awkward phase. 35, I don't know.
Hmm. And I think that like I don't know if you feel this way, but I do feel this way. Social media portrays like women in their 30s to be like old sometimes.
Yes.
And I'm like I love my 30s. I wouldn't trade it for my 20s at any point ever. Like I just think you really figure out like who you are again. You almost become like your 16-year-old self again, but with a lot more wisdom and knowledge.
Yes.
You
My
know?
mom has the best quote, and it's your 30s are just like your 20s, except with more confidence and money. And I'm
Mm.
like, yeah, mom.
You're like, we're living the dream here.
Absolutely.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for doing this with me today.
So thank you for having me. This was fun. I feel like we were just gabbing like old friends.
I know. And I'm really excited to get together in like 2 months. It's crazy. But I'll text you and we can kind of plan some things and stuff
Yeah.
too. And maybe we could get some of the girls like chatting, communicating, and talking because I think that would be so nice also.
I mean, even if we can just get on like a video call, I don't know, or
Yeah,
something so it's not so scary when we get there.
absolutely. And then that way we kind of like can talk about things and what are you bringing? What are you bringing? Whatever, because there is so much like planning and I don't know how I'm going to fit everything into.
No, I don't know. I have no idea. And getting our costumes there,
Yeah. Well, we'll figure it out. Where there's a will, there's a way.
true, true.
So, all right. Well, thank you again, Taylor. I hope you have a good night.
Thank you, you too. See
Talk
ya.
later. Bye.